Sweet Mama V is here. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I didn't think you would remember.
Oh, I will. I've been saying this since the beginning of the show.
Okay.
And I really have worked with some fantastic women all my life. And I believe that women are as competent as men, and in most cases, even that I've worked with, even more. You exude the best of the intellect I've ever seen around. And of course, in class, I've been passed by some women before. Yeah, so, Charlie, you guys kudos.
On behalf of all the women you've worked with, all the women who have taught you, all the women you've come into contact with.
And I've been with and live with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the woman who is going to be by your side forever and ever. We thank you for appreciating women.
Yeah. Change your life. To some subang.
Oh, it's a girls' day today. It's International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day to all women across the world. And they say we have to be bold. So be bold for change. I am being bold for
You know
change.
something? I think this hair suits you. Yeah.
Thank you.
You kind of style it every morning. That's great.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of
Be
time, I
bold
believe.
for
Women. That's the thing, eh? And the inspiration for the hair is the Minister for Children, no,
Women,
women, children, and
Social
gender.
Social
Okay.
I don't mind at
The
all.
Minister of Women.
I don't mind at all.
Children.
And that's where the inspiration is coming from. It's all good.
Otikwa Visa Jaba. alias Samuel Eto'o.
Oh, but let's do the newspapers on this day. But we've got a special programming coming your way. So after 7, we're going to cross over studios, because on the Super Morning Show today, we have the ever beautiful second lady, Samira Baumia, hosting the Super Morning Show today. And there are some women, some amazing women who are going to be passing through the show as well today. We have the Electoral Commissioner passing through the show this morning.
Mrs. Charlotte Osei.
Yeah.
For all you women who had been insulting a proud selection, please. Today, the International Women's Day. Who else?
Auntie Joyce Aye is also going to be passing
Dr.
through
Joyce
the show. Yeah.
Former
But
Chief Executive
there are a
for
lot more
Ghana
women.
Chamber.
There are a lot more women who are going to
And then also
grace,
former
the
Deputy
studio.
Minister of Finance,
Yeah, Madam Mona Korte.
Madam Mona Korte.
Yeah. But there are a lot more other women.
Incidentally, all of them seem to be very light-colored people, chocolate. I don't know why it's selection.
Okay, that's your own conspiracy theory. So that is going to take over our show, and that will be from 7 a.m. to about 10.
So please make sure you stay put and glued to this channel. Now let's look at the newspaper.
Let's do the newspapers. We'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper.
It has nothing on women?
No, not the front page. Maybe they have it somewhere
That's
else.
a discrimination. Who is the editor, man?
No, Daily Graphic will certainly not discriminate against women. Front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, Mawako supervisor.
Good morning to you.
Mawako supervisor charged with assaults. Majority minority build bridges for regular dialogue. Armed robbers kill prison officer, injure another warder. And Ivory Finance sets record straight. That story on page 31. But of course, we want to start off with the Mawako story, because this has been a developing story. Yesterday, there was an entourage to visit the restaurants and a few things that have come up. But now, the gentleman, so if you open to page 16, for instance, you will find Jihad, who's been charged for assault, being handcuffed. Okay, and the story by Timothy Nembe says, a supervisor at Mawako restaurant, Mr. Jihad Taban, who is at the center of an alleged assault against Ghanaian female employee, has been charged with assault by the police. The police, however, could not arraign him at the Abekan District Court yesterday because the court did not sit. The 26-year-old Lebanese, who is currently on bail, allegedly dipped the face of Miss Evelyn Boache, a Ghanaian female employee of the Abelinkpe branch of the Mawako restaurant, in blended pepper for more than 10 minutes. And if you continue to read, it will give you the narrative. Toll on business, a bit of that. It says, meanwhile, the incident involving the abuse of the female employee at the restaurant appears to have taken a toll on patronage at some of the branches of the company. Apart from the lab branch, where 3 groups of 13 people were having lunch yesterday, the Nima branch and Abelinkpe branch, where the incident happened, were virtually empty. There was no security at any branch in the wake of threats by a group of young people to ban the Abelimpe branch. Okay, so apparently they have a lot more branches than I thought. I thought it was only Spintex and Abelimpe, but there's La as well. And obviously people staying away from this. I guess the quicker we finish this case, I mean, if we do it speedily, then if the business would be back, then I guess, you know. Yeah. Okay, back page of the Daily Graphic now. Poultry projects pilots production program to cut down on costs. Police arrest recruitment scam suspects. Let's touch also a bit on, let me just go back to page 16, Roland, just before you come in, because this sad incident. It says one prison officer, Assistant Chief Officer Nanayao Entry, was shot dead, while another Sergeant Paul Jan sustained gunshot wounds in an armed robbery attack at Akokwa, a suburb of Atebubu in the Bono-Ahafo region, at dawn on March 6, 2017. The two were returned from Kwame Danso in a Nissan patrol vehicle with registration number. Gives you the details after they had attended a wedding ceremony when the robbers attacked them at 5 a.m. Very tragic incident there. Yeah. So, but there are more details. It tells you about how the robbery went down, some facts about the incident as well, and a whole lot of other stories, including the majority-minority building bridges for regular dialogue, or in the Daily Graphic newspaper of today.
So we have on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, Yoko indicts Ghana National Fire Service top brass, 7 of them. And we also have Africa must unite towards self-reliance. Vice President MP calls for workable solution to flooding, and SIC hasn't paid. What is MP? It should have been Times the cry.
Which one's that?
For example, you have Osu Rosalinda. That is Ezanato. If Ezanato calls for workable solutions, you say, oh, Ezanato calls for. Say MP has it will be MPBR.
Well, that's their own editorial discretion.
I know, but she's not just any ordinary MP. Upe catchy headline. All they are to Ezanato calls for. Anyway, SIC hasn't paid 91 million Ghana cedis to Ivory Finance, according to the executive chairman of the company. And then we have on the back page, government will revamp NHIS, according to the vice president. And Ghana Armed Forces, they had an open day yesterday, and they opened their facilities to the public. I've participated in this 2 times in my career. Very enjoyable experience, if you ask me.
Let's do the Finder newspaper next. Front page of the Finder. Stabilize the city. Businesses appeal to government while hailing 2017 budgets. Abose Okai spare parts dealers demand apology from Ato Forsin. What exactly did he say? That story on page 4. Nanadu is the man after Nkrumah. That's according to the Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe. Ghana diaspora must link up for economic development. Vice President Dr. Baumia. SIC owes us over 500 million Ghana cedis. That's according to Ivory Finance. So on the front page of the paper, you find Mr. Emmanuel Edu Sarkodie, the CEO of CDH Group, speaking at a press conference yesterday. But let's touch on a bit page 4 on this story about the Abose Okai spare parts dealers asking for Mr. Kesala to force him to apologize. He says, Abose Okai spare part dealers in Accra have condemned former Deputy Finance Minister Kesala to forcing for claiming that the abolishing of import duty on spare parts would soon make the country a dumping ground for overage vehicles and parts. So where does the apology come in here?
I don't know.
Okay, that's just the first paragraph I've read. Perhaps maybe more of it would justify the apology, but if you asked me, I don't see it. Opinions.
Right.
Opinions, man. Opinions are like noses.
Are you done?
2 fake police officers jailed. I'm sure you want to know a bit about that. It says an Accra Circuit Court has sentenced 2 men who impersonated as police officers to various terms of imprisonment in hard labor. They had earlier pleaded guilty to various charges. Michael Asari, unemployed, and Ernest Kofi Ba, a taxi driver, were charged for dressing in police uniform, conspiring, and robbing one Louis Farouk of his bag containing an amount of 2,500 Ghana cedis. 2,500 Ghana cedis. Interesting. All right, that's it for the Finder. Roland?
We have front page of the Daily Guide, but before then, a very good morning to you. Mrs. Felicia Danso, I hope that you're having a good time. Happy Women's Day to you. And I hope that you enjoy your day, because you ladies are doing good work wherever you find yourself in your career, and I wish you well. Daily Guide has on the front page, Mugabe falls for Nana. Yoko chases snakes. Afoko fit for trial. Mawako Pepeman charged, and you have a picture there of 26-year-old Jihad.
Handcuffed?
Yeah, Shaban watching like a blue man in one of the films.
What was he thinking, by the way? And a letter of apology. I mean, some letter B of apology be that he issued yesterday. Oh my God! But the way we've been all aggressive about this, I hope that even when there are companies, there are Ghanaian companies involved in these things, we will be equally aggressive and ask for justice.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Which paper do you have?
Let's do the Daily Dispatch. The Daily Dispatch newspaper, front page, Akufo-Addo accused of revising Nkrumah's role in Ghana's independence struggle. Blended pepper assault, Otiko Jaba burst teeth at Mawako. Okay, so this issue of Akufo-Addo accused of revising Nkrumah's role in Ghana's independence struggle, that argument perhaps will go on for a while longer. That's it for the Daily Dispatch newspaper.
So we have the Daily Statesman. It has on the front page our worth tied to our economic well-being. Vice President challenges diaspora and Africans. Ashanti Regional Minister declares war against indiscipline. And Dr. Tete to Ghanaians, be political and not partisan. Mawako answer, Minister orders probe by Labour Department. And MPP will actualize the Ghanaian dream, Information Minister. And National Cathedral for Ghana. We've had a shortcut. You have all the top clergy or top men of Ghana, the movers and the shakers. Allah illallah.
This Mawako incident, is the restaurant not bigger than the single gentleman who carried out this act? Why didn't the restaurant disassociate themselves with what the guy did and, you know, spearhead a possible prosecution or something like that? Why would you shield him all this while and even issue a statement on his behalf and all that? Because now you have
because you are thinking they should have
chains. They have, the business is big.
How many do they have?
I thought it was only Abelimpe and Spintex, but apparently
yeah, no, only of the Spintex.
There's Labadi and there's Nungwa also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's quite a big business.
Wow.
And there's just one single man who's carried out an act like that, unless you believe in what he did. Otherwise, you would quickly say, let the law take its course and let them deal with it. You quickly organize a press conference, update everybody, have the police there, update everybody as to where you have reached on the matter, you know. Well, let's do the Today newspaper. Front page of the Today. New 5 Ghana cedis note out amidst low sensitization. Oh. It's almost as if we don't care.
But if you have New Ghana, why do you need to sensitize people that you have New Ghana cedi?
Well, maybe they want people to hoard. Tomatoes rot at Wepe following repair works on bridge. Editor takes a break. Okay, so something about the Today newspaper. That's it for the paper.
Okay, the editor of the Today newspaper taking a break. It is worth mentioning. Okay, the Ghanaian Observer has on the front page, I see qualities of Nkrumah in Akufo-Addo. Mugabe tells Ghanaians, and so we also have Africa must join forces for economic independence, Dr. Bawumia, and rise up against poverty, we're told. The other paper we're looking at is the Today newspaper. Okay, it's been done already. So those will be the newspapers we have. But now let's go to the online portals. And we have to go to myjoyonline.com. You go to myjoyonline.com, you find a number of stories there. But first, we have to go to the page, the world page. No, let's go to International Women's Day. Let's go to that page. This official page, International Women's Day. Okay, yeah. .com, internationalwomensday.com. The website has been set.
Okay, so will you be bold for change? When you click on yes, I'm in, it's going to tell you, or it's going to ask you exactly what you intend doing. So this is a page that, you know, everybody can visit today. There's this hashtag that's supposed to trend today, be bold for change, be bold for change, be bold for change. It's all about equality, isn't it? We'll talk more about women's when we join the Super Morning Show team. from 7 a.m. really for a very special programming today, and we're privileged, you know, to also share in that on radio and on television. All right, let's go back to myjoyonline.com now. Be bold for change. That's the theme for this year's celebration. Okay, let's start off this way. Oh, T-Bag's message of motivation. And I guess this was the motivation as delivered by Mrs. Samira Bawomi on the Super Morning Show. You can take a read. Let's move on though. Push for affirmative action bill heightens as World marks International Women's Day. Mawako assault, 1,000 sign online petition to get justice for victim. Ivory Finance spills beans on SIC's 550 million Ghana cedis debts. Sudan, Somalia condemn U.S. travel ban. EU allocates 43 million euros to support Ghana's youth employment program. Mawako committed to investigations, takes steps to avoid employee maltreatments. Bank of Ghana closed down 2 unlicensed financial institutions. Okay, so you might want to click on the story and know about the exact institutions that have been closed down, but there are more stories on myjoyonline.com. We encourage you to visit the sites. On City FM, crediting Oli Nkrumah for Ghana's freedom, big mistake. Oh, that's up on your marking, saying there. Electrocution kills 1, injures 4 in Takrady. Nanado's deliberately discredited Nkrumah. That's according to the Convention People's Party, the CPP. And Akufo-Addo didn't skew Ghana's history. That's from Information Minister Mustafa Hamid. Let's go to the BBC page. Roland is going to take that. And then we'll make way for sports, because at 7 we're crossing over.
Yeah, so we quickly would have to go to Joy, and let's look at the BBC page, and we go to the Africa page of the BBC. It talks about Sudan, Somalia condemning U.S. travel ban. Yeah, because they're part of those 6 countries that have been banned, 6 Muslim nations. Fantastic. But there's this story featured on the BBC. Go up a little, go up a little, go up a little. Apparently, there are robbers who pose as police in South Africa, and they robbed, I think, a bullion van or a bigger one. That's like a movie. And the money they are thinking is around between 1 million to about 50 million US dollars. Commando style. This is huge, man. But this is real. Yeah, real happened. So armed thieves masquerading as police have carried out a robbery at Johannesburg International Airport in South. At the airports? This happened at the airports? Wow. The thieves are said to have driven into a restricted zone and taken containers of cash. Estimates vary, but reports suggest that millions of dollars in different currencies have been stolen. The company that operates OR Tambo Airports, the continent's busiest, confirmed a robbery had taken place. Quotes, no shots were fired and no injuries have been reported. The robbers fled. Airports Company South Africa said in a statement. The police spokesman was quoted by broadcaster as saying she could not comment on how much money exactly was stolen. Guards from a private security firm protecting the valuable cargo were stopped by the robbers, who were traveling in a vehicle marked with police. There have been reports of other high-value cargo robberies in recent years at the airport. Wow. Wow. Are they able to trace the cash? Are they able to trace these men? I mean, but the way it went down... Well, South Africa is a lot more developed than the rest of Africa. So but with no shots fired, nobody injured, it means that this was highly strategic. They had inside people in it. But obviously, if people have posed as police officers, even on our streets here in Accra, if a policeman stopped you, there was a checkpoint, you're going home and there was a checkpoint and they stopped you, you would stop. But if unfortunately they happen to be armed robbers, then sorry for you.
Okay, so we're done with the online review. If you're
Yes.
interested in any of the stories that you've heard or you've heard us talk about, we encourage you to go to the newsstands, get the papers and read, or just log on to the website and read the stories as well. But it's International Women's Day. To every woman out there, if you're single, married, if you think you're weak,
Or
if
divorced.
you think you're strong, if you're divorced, if you think somebody has dumped you, the message today is be bold for change. Be bold for change. Crying won't solve the problem.
It's true.
You have to
I
pick
shouldn't have
yourself
been on
up.
this set. You see the way he's doing both, but it's like he's warning you.
No, I mean, it's just pick
if you're a
yourself
man, you're
up.
doing something to some woman, for change. But today is also AM business, and so Sheila Tamaklu has put together a great package for us, and today we'll be highlighting interesting issues all for your comfort. But thereafter, we'll go to, of course, do simulcasting the Joy Super Morning Show, and today Samiria Bawumia is the second lady. We have any term like that. She is the wife of the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. She will be joined by a number of women who have achieved in their own spheres of endeavor.
Yeah, and yesterday we started a series produced by Justice Baidu. We're continuing all in the spirit of International Women's Day. So today, technical fields are one of the many areas where many women fail to survive. As the world marks International Women's Day today to promote gender parity, Justice Baidu has been to the Bono Ahafo region town of Bichim to meet the young girls braving the odds to study welding and fabrication in a male-dominated class, and are now even making a machine that can pound your fufu for you. And his report will be aired right here on our show this morning. So if you enjoyed yesterday's, we'll bring you today. Stay with us.